Hi, my name is Pastor Tom Sapay from River Mountain Church in Shepton, Pennsylvania, and I want to thank your congregation for giving me a moment to share a vision that I had for our geographical area, especially the Hazleton community. My wife and I were called to this area about 8 years ago, and I know that how an area is founded has significance. Hazleton was a city that was founded by the Moravians. I'm excited to say that it was these like-minded spiritual ambassadors that came to Pennsylvania to preach the gospel to the Native American Indians. And they were the ones responsible for the founding of what we call modern-day Hazleton. So maybe God is calling us back to our roots. And this dream that I had in the summer of 2015 seemed to indicate that. I saw Christians praying on Broad Street in Hazleton. I saw them gather together, and I could tell that there was a mass of Christians, not just from one church, but from many churches. And they were asking God one thing, that He would come and He would heal our land. Similar to the prayer that's prayed in 2 Chronicles. We were humbling ourselves. We were asking God that only God could heal America. Only God could heal Hazleton. But we were standing in the gap, believing that for this city. When I woke out of the dream, I remembered a few key points. There was a banner that said Firefall. And I could tell this was something like a Pentecostal experience that they had in the book of Acts. When they were unified, standing together, the Holy Spirit came like a mighty rushing wind. I began to share this with a few pastors. Pastor Selby was one of them. Pastor Rodney Murphy was another, who really felt that God was involved in this vision. And so we decided to approach the Fun Fest committee, because we knew that they closed down Main Street only one time a year, and it was in the fall, and it was for Fun Fest. When we approached them, they were not only excited about the idea, but they told us that this was what they were seeing too, that they were actually calling this year's Fun Fest a homecoming. Now, when they said homecoming, I knew that there was something connected to the origins of this town. And I knew there was something connected with Christians coming together and praying and making this a kind of a homecoming for the city of Hazleton. They were more or less giving us the keys of the city and said, bring us back home, bring us back to our origins. And so based upon that, we really got stirred to try to invite as many churches as we could to come to stand in prayer, to stand in unity, to become the city on the hill. When I woke out of this dream, immediately the Lord gave me a song, and I want to play that song for you now. It's called City on the Hill, and it speaks of why we get so divided as churches and what happens if we can put our differences aside and stand together, unified in the gospel. What I didn't realize at the time that I had this dream is the end of that song would also be fairly prophetic. It would be a homecoming. Hazleton had asked us as the churches to come together to have a community service 2015 for a homecoming. Listen to the words of this song and pray and ask God whether He wants you to be a part of this. If you can't be a part of it on September 13th, at least pray that God would do something special for our community on that day and bring not only Hazleton back home, but bring our entire geographical area back to its roots.